Hey guys, welcome back to Assisted Living Investing. Happy to have you on the channel today. I'm Brandon Gustafson and I own and operate two assisted living facilities out of state. And I've created this channel to help you kind of learn the process and what it's like to own and operate a facility and walk you through the steps and help you gain a better understanding of what it's like to process of purchasing your own facility. I would love to have you give me a big thumbs up, like the videos, and subscribe down below so that you can get subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified of content as it comes up, and leave comments down below so the rest of the group can also kind of learn from you and your experience and gain some greater knowledge. I'd also encourage you to join me on assistedlivinginvesting.net. Would love to see you over on the website where I have some free resources, newsletter, blog, and kind of get a lot of this information out there in written form so you can kind of have those as resources as you go through the process and purchasing your own assisted living facility and getting into this world of investing. In our last video, we talked about why you should be working with a broker, why you should be working with a real estate agent, specifically as a buyer, why you would want to do that, and the great advantages that come from that. As I mentioned in that video, working with a broker and developing a relationship with a broker is going to be key in helping you be successful in finding a facility that will kind of meet the needs that you have and helping you get through the process of purchasing your own facility and get to the point where you're now operating that facility. Today, we're going to be talking about how do real estate agents and brokers get paid? What's that like? How much do they get paid? How does it all work and what that process is like? Just to give you some transparency on what it's like so that you know going into it that these people, they do get paid. They get paid very well for the work that they do, but they're very skilled in what they do. And so I just kind of want to give some transparency there. So number one, how does payment work? And the first thing that you want to know is it's important to know that agent commissions are actually negotiable. As you're kind of working through things a lot of times on a listing, especially if it's just kind of single family homes, residential homes that you're purchasing for yourself or whatever, they'll kind of put in there what those commissions are going to look like. But those commissions are negotiable. Typically, they're going to fall between 5 and 6% of the purchase price is just kind of a good benchmark for it to be. Commissions are paid from the proceeds of the sale by the money that the seller receives at closing. So you as the buyer, you're purchasing the facility, you're purchasing the real estate, the business, and all of that. So indirectly, you are paying them, but directly, you don't have to pay an additional, 3% or 6% or something like that on top of the purchase price that you've agreed to. Those funds come directly out of the purchase price and they come from the seller at closing on the deal. Now, commissions are typically divided up between a buyer's agent and a listing agent. And we talked about that a little bit in our last video, the difference between those two, listing agent and buyer agent, and how they work. But those commissions are typically going to be divided up amongst those two groups. So, for example, if a commission is set at 6%, then 3% of that amount is going to go to the buyer side, and 3% is going to go over to the seller side, to the listing agent. Now, if an agent is working for both the buyer and the seller, which is a situation that could happen, then they would take that full commission amount. Is kind of how that works. So in a transaction with a purchase of $1 million, let's just make this really simple math. Let's say you're buying a facility, you're purchasing it for $1 million. The buyer side is going to typically receive 3% of that, which is $30,000, and the seller side is going to typically get 3% of that, which is $30,000. So each of those sides are going to get that amount of money. You can do the math on it. I tried to make this simple so you can see what those numbers look like, but that's the numbers that are going to go to there. So payments that go to a real estate agent, I'm going to kind of break this down by real estate agent versus brokers so that you can kind of get a feel for how those people are making money. An agent is going to split the commission on the deal with the brokerage that they're working with. So whether it's an agent and they're on the buyer side or the seller side, they're going to split that commission, and they kind of determine what that's going to be in-house and how those things are split. So I'm not going to get into that. But if their side ended up getting 3% of that transaction we've been talking about, that $1 million transaction, The buyer side gets a 3% cut of that, so that's $30,000. The agent that you're working with gets 50% of that commission. So at the end of the deal, they receive $15,000, and the broker is going to also get $15,000. That's kind of how the agent side of things works. That's what the real estate agent is going to get. As far as payments for brokers are kind of paid in two ways. So first off, you get a cut of the commissions brought in by the agents, like we just talked about, that work under them. So, using this case that we talked about, where it's $1 million, the buyer side gets the $30,000. The real estate agent gets $15,000 of that. The broker is getting that remaining $15,000. So they get to take a cut of that because those agents are working underneath their brokerage license. So they're bringing in a lot of deals and things like that. They also get commissions. They also get paid commissions on their own deals. But as a broker, since they're not the agent, they're a managing broker or an associate broker or principal broker, like we talked about in our last video, they don't have to split the commissions on that deal. They get to keep the full amount. So in the example that we've been kind of talking about, that $30,000 commission check goes to them and they get to keep it. There's taxes and fees and things that are going to be involved with that. So it's not like a straight full amount, but that kind of gives you an idea of about how much they're making on that. Now, a broker representing both sides of that transaction would earn the full amount of the commission. So, in that case, the deal that we've been talking about, that would be a $60,000 commission check. So that's a pretty good one. I think oftentimes you're going to have a broker that's kind of doing both sides of that deal. It's probably going to lower that percentage a little bit. Maybe they put it at 5% rather than 6%, so they get 50,000 rather than 60. But it just kind of depends on the brokerage, how they have things set up and what that's going to look like. So that's kind of the process that you'd be looking at as far as how those brokers, how those agents are getting paid. And more than anything, this was just a video to kind of give you transparency into how that works and what it looks like for how a broker gets paid. So just a quick recap: how do brokers get paid? We went over how payments work. Payments to real estate agents specifically, and then payments on the broker side. So you can kind of get a feel for what those payments look like and the amount of money that those people are earning. And then just remember, you on the buyer side are not paying those commissions directly. You pay for the purchase price that you've agreed on with the seller to purchase the real estate and the business. And then from those proceeds of the sale that the seller receives, those commissions are paid off to the agent and the broker. So that's kind of how that works. Next time, we're going to get into the process of working with a broker. What is it like to work with a broker? We've done a lot of background on who brokers are, who agents are, how they get paid, why you should work with one. Next time, we're going to get into the process of actually working with a broker, so you kind of know what to expect as you're reaching out to these people, starting to develop relationships, and what that's like and why you should do it. So just a reminder, make sure you like the video, give me a big thumbs up, comment down below any interactions that you've had working with brokers, and share that knowledge with other people. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I put new content out here. Follow me on all my other social media platforms, and I'd love to see you over on assistedlivinginvesting.net for free resources, the newsletter, blog, future content, everything that I'm going to be putting out on that website. Would love to see you over there. And just in closing, remember, it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Keep going, just keep making progress inch by inch, and you'll be fine. You'll be able to make it through this, and everything will work out for you. So thanks for watching today, and we'll see you next time.